So a guy walks into a bar and says he wants 6 double shots of vodka. The bartender says, "You all right, man?" The guy goes, "I just found out my youngest son's gay." The next day, the guy walks into a bar. He says, "Man, I need another 6 double shots of vodka." The bartender says, "You all right, man?" The guy says, "I just found out my oldest son is gay." The next day, the guy walks into the bar. He needs 6 more double shots of vodka. The bartender goes, "Man, does anyone in your family like women?" The guy goes, "Yeah, my wife." So a man walks into a bar and asks for 10 shots of whiskey. The bartender obliges, and the man proceeds to down one after another in a rapid recession. The bartender goes, "Why are you drinking so fast?" The man goes, "If you knew what I had, you would too." The bartender goes, "What do you have?" He goes, 12 cents. So a guy walks into a bar and orders 6 shooters. The bartender goes, "Man, you must have had a bad day." The guy goes, "Yeah, I was late for work. I got fired. On the way home, I had an accident. When I got there, my best friend was sleeping with my wife." The bartender goes, "Well, what'd you say to them?" He goes, "Man, I told my wife I never wanted to see her again. I told my best friend, bad dog." So a man and a woman are at a bar enjoying each other. They have such a good time, they take it back to her place. When they get there, the man takes his pants off, washes his hands, takes his shirt off, washes his hands. The woman goes, "You must be a dentist." He goes, "How did you know that?" She says, "Every time you do something, you wash your hands." So they make love, and afterwards, the dentist washes his hands. She goes, "You must be a great dentist." He goes, "You know, I am. How did you know that?" She goes, "I couldn't feel a thing." So a man's at a bar staring at his drink for what seems like over an hour. Out of nowhere, a very tough, biker-looking man walks up to him, takes his drink, drinks it, sits it down. The man starts crying. The biker, feeling bad, says, "Look, man, I didn't mean to make you upset. Let me buy you a drink." The guy goes, "No, you don't understand. I've had a horrible day. My wife wants a divorce. She's kicking me out of the house. And you drank my poison." A cowboy strolls into town. Upon entering a local saloon, he notices that the locals are impartial to outsiders. As he's leaving, he notices his horse has been stolen. He goes back into the saloon and says, "Look, I'm going to drink one more beer, and you're going to return my horse." As he draws his gun and points it to the sky, he says, "You don't want me to do what I've done in Texas." Well, sure enough, the man drinks a beer. As he's leaving, the horse has been returned. The bartender goes, "Mister, can you tell us what you did in Texas?" He goes, "I had to walk home." So a man walks into a bar already plastered. He sees 3 guys at a far table and approaches them, leans over, looks at the biggest one and says, "I saw your grandmother in the hallway of her house, buck naked. She was fine." This man that he said this to is a very large biker. His friends look at him and confused while he says nothing. The drunkard says again, "You know what? We got it on, and she liked it." At this point, his friends are nervous, not knowing what he's going to do. The drunkard then again goes, "Your grandma? Man, I'm telling you, she's hot." The biker finally stands up, takes the man by the shoulders and says, "Grandpa, you're drunk. Go home." So a man walks into a bar and asks for a beer. The bartender goes, "That'll be $1." The man goes, "Really?" To his surprise, asks for a steak and mashed potatoes. Bartender goes, "That'll be $5." The man goes, "Really?" Eats his dinner. After the fact, asks the bartender where the owner is. The bartender goes, "He's upstairs with my wife." The guy goes, "What is he doing up there?" The bartender goes, "The same thing I'm doing to his business." A blind man wanders into a bar. Upon entering, he sits at said bar and asks the bartender if they'd like to hear a blonde joke. Someone walks up to him and says, "Mister, before you tell that joke, I want you to understand. The bouncer's blonde, I'm blonde, the bartender's blonde, the woman sitting next to you is 200 pounds, a pro wrestler and blonde, and the man to my right is blonde. Do you still want to tell that joke? The man goes, not if I have to explain it 5 times. So a man walks into a bar. He takes a stool, gets a drink, asks the man to his right, is a penguin this tall? The man goes, no, a penguin's much taller than that. He asks the man to his left. He goes, is a penguin this tall? The man goes, no, much shorter than that. The man, frustrated, puts his hands in his head. The bartender asks him, what's wrong? The man goes, I ran over a nun.